This is an important event as we celebrate the contribution made by a generation that discovered its mission by working to restore the historical contribution made by Africans and change living reality of the African people in the majority for the better. It is important because it is an integral part of the South African story. Mandela's story is a story we started in this very region, in this district, OR Tambo. But uMadiba ke uye waba mkhulu ngamagalelo akhe. Yacaca intoba i-OR Tambo incinci kuye, uyinkokheli yempuma koloni yonke. Yacaca futhi ukuthi impuma koloni nayo incinci kuMadibomde. Washo wabheka phaya eGauteng, and he was our national leader. But the nation South Africa became so small for Madiba that he started to, in his gigantic steps, strode the continent Africa. But ne Africa ngokwayo ayizange imanele uMadiba. Madiba, the global leader, the global icon, a colossus himself. So whatever we do today continues with the work of our forebears, that of building a united, non-racial, non-sexist, democratic and prosperous society. Nation building and social cohesion is our priority. We can grow this nation if we are aware of our history and proud of our future. Kunabantu ke abangawazi umlando welizwe. Bahamba beqenqeleka nje okwentyaboshi. Bethetha into ezingavakaliyo apha. Bethetha ngomlando welizwe abangawazi. uMadiba fought for our freedom. We are proud today. We are part of the family of nations because of Madiba. But if Madiba was around, he would have called all of us to order, to say that it never was about him. It was always about the collective leadership of our people, and believing in the collective wisdom of every South African and every person who lives in this world. The Vision 2030 remains our destination. In the development plan, in its summary, we state, and I quote, "Our new story is open-ended with temporary destinations, only for new paths to open up once more. It is a story of unfolding learning. Even when we flounder, we remain hopeful. In this story, we always arrive and depart. We have come some way. We know what we do and how we do it is important as what we want to achieve. What we are is because of who we have been and what we want to become. We'll continue to make it to us because we are happy with being who we are. Who are we? We are Africans. We are an African country. We are part of our multinational region. We are an essential part of our continent. Being Africans, we are acutely aware of the wider world, deeply implicated in our past and present, that wider world carries some of our inheritance. Therefore, what the country needs fundamentally is radical transformation of our society that will give a meaning to be a South African, a society that will be proud of itself and be assertive without being arrogant. This, we believe, can be achieved through various means, including the services and programs that can be rendered by the museums of our country and those of the continent. Efforts in our continent are setting the past aside, but not ignoring it. Our people everywhere, from north to south of the continent, are reclaiming their land, their right to participate in government, their dignity as humans, their nationhood. In the continent and in the south in general, debate revolves around the role museums must play in national development. Museums are challenged to contribute to the finding solutions of the problems ranging from conflict resolution to poverty reduction. African museums are the institutions that must rise to take their rightful place in the process. Museums serve as public function and as institutions which hold their possessions in trust for humanity and for the future welfare of human race. Lena ke yona i-museum esikuyo ngoku, i-museum ekumele size kuyo njalo sizophuza kuyo ulwazi. Siyishiya ke ezandleni zenu bantu base-OR Tambo District. Sithi kuni lilifa eli, lilifa lesizwe, lilifa lekusasa lenu. Dlangamandla singezwa ke izinto ukuthi abantu babe nomsindo bachisa uMandela, kuba xa nishisa i-museum nobe nishise uMandela uqobo. Namhlanje singamazwe ase-Afrika sihlangene ekutheni singayinceda njani into yasemali yase-Timbuktu, apho ulwazi lwe-Afrika lukhona. Siyiprotecta ngayo yonke indlela, nakuba izwe lasemali linodlame kunezimpi eziqhubayo pha. Yileyo ndlela esifuna ukuthi siprotecte ngayo esisakhiwo, kuba kwesi sakhiwo kunezinto esizifumana khona. Into yokuqala ukusebenza ngokungabheki inzuzo kaMandela for 67 years, i-selflessness. Xa singena kwesi sakhiwo sizofika sithole kuso umoya wobunye we-unity. Sizofumana apha kwesi sakhiwo ukubuyisana, i-reconciliation. Ewe ezi zinto uMadiba aziphilele. uMadiba uye wenza i-adage endala ethi, if you want peace, prepare for war. In his lifetime, he prepared himself thoroughly for the battles ahead of his life, and ensured that when the time came, he made his contribution to take up arms and defend the right to dignity. There is nothing as important as our freedom today as our dignity as human beings, especially the Africans and blacks. Because what we've been fighting for all these years is for our dignity. That our people have been made to be nothing in the world. But nobody but ourselves, led by Madiba, liberated ourselves. Sithi ke kwi-Eastern Cape yonke masiqhube silandele apho uMadiba eye washiya khona. Mayingafi into uMadiba ayiphilele, mayiphile kini, nikwazi ukuthi nikhanyisele isizwe sonke saseMzantsi Afrika nehlabathi liphela. Kuyokwenzeka ke lokho ngokuthi senze isiqiniseko sokuthi siyalwa nocalucalulo. If there is anything South Africans should be intolerant of, it's racism. You must never ever tolerate racism. Racism is like cancer. Once you give in just a little, you are gone. Eli lizwe alisuyophindela ucalucalulo. Imele siyilwe leyo nto ngayo yonke into esinayo emthethweni. Ndiye ndasho nisasho nangoku, abo abakwazi ukucompose abacompose balwe nalento. Because today we have walking symbols who dedicated their lives like Madiba to fight against racism and against oppression. And at this point, I would like to respectfully request one of our stalwarts in fighting for peace and justice, not only in South Africa, but in the whole world. I'm ambushing him because I've not told him, but I thought it is important that we see that we stand for peace and will do everything in our power to reconcile our nation. I would ask Father Lapsley to please join me here on stage. Father is here with us. Those who do not know what apartheid is, what racism is in this land, they must know that we have scars. They must know that we fought for this freedom. We fought so that we preach peace. Like Madiba, Father Lapsley doesn't have any grudge for the small man who oppressed him. Father, we normally thank people when they are dead. We want to say to you that we know that you are a dignified person. You chose to be with the people against apartheid injustice in this country. And because of that, you paid heavily. You personify people's resolve to peace. Would like to have just one word from you for peace. But just before that, to say to you that this is not a stunt. This is what we are telling people, that do not think that this freedom was attained on a silver platter. Father.
Our dear sisters and brothers, it's not every day that you get hijacked by a minister of state. Dear sisters and brothers, one of my favorite quotes from Madiba is when he came out of prison, he said that he realized that if he did not leave, bitterness and hatred at the prison door, he would remain a prisoner forever. And so I received a letter bomb 3 months after Nelson Mandela was released from prison, hidden inside the pages of 2 religious magazines, which is why I have no hands and 1 eye, and my eardrums were damaged. But I realized that if my heart was filled by hatred and bitterness, that they would have failed to kill the body, but they would have killed the soul. So today I can say to you, yes, I was a victim. I lost hands that I will always grieve for. I still have a lot, but I know that I'm a better human being because of the journey I've traveled. Thank you.
He really deserves a standing ovation. Nokuba ulusulu amlungadlavuzwe, kodwa umoya wami wokulwela inkululeko nokuthanda abantu belilizwe ohlala ukhona utsho uFather. Masiphinde simqhwabeleni uFather. Wow, enkosi kakhulu, enkosi imphathiswa unxe